Hey, good morning, everyone, and welcome to Red Mountain Baseball Complex in Mesa, Arizona. Todd Garbison for Southwest Sports Network. It's play-by-play coverage in the 2016 Veterans Day Classic put on by Southwest Woodbat Classics. And we are underway in the Underclass Division Championship game, and it features the Gauchos against Minnesota SWAT. And just getting underway here in the top of the first inning, Tristan DeJesus leads off for the Gauchos. And takes the first couple of pitches away from the strike zone, or out of the zone anyway, and the next one over for a strike. So the count goes to 2-1. Each team comes in with a perfect 3-0 pool record to get to this championship game. And now the 2-1 pitch is a breaking ball, laid off on a check swing. No, it did go around. As it peeled down to the base umpire, and the count goes to 2-2 strikes. So the Gauchos 3-0, Minnesota SWAT 3-0 through pool play. Now the 2-2 offering on the way, and it's a ground ball back up the middle. Long way to go, and that will get through and into center field. So it's a leadoff base hit for the Gauchos. First man aboard with the base hit back up the middle, and it brings up Noah Gray. After Gray, then it's Tyler DeJesus batting third. Jace Ludwig hits fourth. Scouten will bat fifth. Then Zach McNelly is sixth. Jeff Gear bats seventh. The number 8 hitter is Danny Kamens, and Noah Marks rounds out the order for the Gauchos as they bat 9. In fact, I think they only had 9, at least when we were over to get the lineup. And the first one to Gray is low and in, ball 1.
Bring it up a little.
All three fields going strong here at Red Mountain and will for a lot of the day. So the next pitch is inside. The count goes to 2-0 strikes.
Blake, bring him up now.
Busy weekend, and again, because of the number of teams in the tournament for Southwest Woodbat Classics, actually extended the tournament by starting it a little bit early. Look over and a throw to first base and the runner back. I think initially this one was set to be a Friday, Saturday, Sunday tournament, with Friday being Veterans Day. Maybe a couple of Thursday games for the local teams, but they added another day and started things on Wednesday as it ball goes over to the right side on a nice hit and run. Throw is going to go to third base, and it's not in time. And so the Gauchos execute nicely there with Jesus taken off from first base. Second baseman moves over to cover the bag, and Gray hits it right where the second baseman, Andy Neffs, started for Minnesota. So nice execution there. That puts runners at first and third for Tyler DeJesus, and we'll try to work through the defensive alignment for the Minnesota SWAT. I can tell you that Ethan Olson is in left field, Mitch Mayer in center field, and Ben Nelson starts in right. And the first pitch over the outside corner for strike 1. The infield for the SWAT, Carter Kotzer is at third base. Tanner Stein, the shortstop. Andy Neffs, I mentioned, at second. Jake Dole at first base. Vin Bussey behind the plate, and the starting pitcher, Blake Borgeson. Check of the runner and a throw over to first base, and the runner dives back. So runners at the corners with nobody out for the Gauchos, getting things started here in the top of the first inning from Red Mountain Baseball Complex. Again, the check of the runner at first, who will take off, and a curveball misses for a ball. And the count evens at 1-1 as Gray steals second base. So now a pair in scoring position for the Gauchos, and a chance for a crooked number here in the top of the first inning with runners at second and third and no one out. Jace Ludwig next for the Gauchos, but right now it's DeJesus at the plate trying to do the damage. And the 1-1 just inside, and the count moves to 2-1. And the left-hander looking in. Corner infielders just a step or so behind the bags. And there's a ground ball to the shortstop with the runner coming to the plate. Throw will go over to first base. And it is in time, but a productive out for the Gauchos. DeJesus grounds out 6-3, but knocks in the first run of the ball game as Tristan DeJesus scores, and the Gauchos have one in the top of the first. Gray also moving on the play moves up 90 feet. He's over at third base, and the batter is Jace Ludwig. So 1 out, 1 in, and 1 on at third base for the Gauchos. And the first one on the way, lefty versus lefty, is a belly button high fastball for strike 1. Borgeson, the left-hander, back to the line on the 0-1 pitch. Goes with a curveball. That one bounces, gets away, and the run is in. I think that maybe got a bit of the plate umpire there. And so a wild pitch brings in run number 2. The Gauchos have scored a second run here in the top of the first inning, and now Ludwig will try to get it started with the bases empty. Next pitch up and in, 2 balls and a strike. Bases empty with 1 out, 2 across for the Gauchos in the top of the first inning. And next one off the plate, 3-1. Next scouted next for the Gauchos, the 3-1 pitch. And looked pretty close, call the ball. Ball 4, and the first walk given up by Borgeson sends Ludwig to first base. And Bossy out to talk to his pitcher. And next Scouten with a swing and a miss for strike 1. And that one bounced in. That'll get by, and that'll get the runner to second base. So Ludwig to second on a wild pitch. Second wild pitch of the inning.
All right, guys. Far enough now.
Borgeson with a deep breath as he looks in for the sign. Checks the runner at second in the 1-1 pitch. Maybe over but low, 2-1. And a ball foul to the backstop, but the count goes to 2-2. Gauchos have scored a pair in the top of the first inning and looking for more with Ludwig at second and 1 out. Borgeson shakes off a couple of signs, and Scouten calls time. And a breaking ball just off the plate, and the count goes to 3-2. Ball fouled out of play, first base side. Well, I thought that was going to get out of play. It actually got right over near the fence, and the first baseman, Thole, had a chance to make the play. Runner takes off, ball punched just over the head of the first baseman, Thole. That's going to bring a run around and in, and the Gauchos have scored 3 in the first. Another situation where the Gauchos are just able to put the bat on the ball, and it's an RBI single for Scouten as Ludwig scores from second base. And it's 3 in the first. For the Gauchos, the batter Zach McNally. And a ground ball back to the pitcher. Borgeson goes to second for an out, on to first base. And SWAT able to turn a double play and get out of any further trouble here in the top of the first inning. But as it is, the Gauchos score 3 times, and after a half inning of play, Gauchos 3, Minnesota SWAT coming up. And we go to work in the bottom of the first inning. Minnesota looking to come back after giving up 3 in the top of the first inning. And the first one missed, second one fouled back on a bunt attempt, and the count goes to 1-1. Now the 1-1 pitch, and a swing and a miss, and the count 1-2. Mitchmeyer, the leadoff hitter, and a 1-2 pitch misses high. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Noah Christensen will bat second as Minnesota will hit 11 in today's championship ball game. So Christensen batting second. Tanner Stein, the shortstop, hits third. And that ball goes the other way into shallow left field, and a running catch made by the Gauchos left fielder, and that's Jace Ludwig there to make the play. 1 away. So now Christensen as an extra hitter batting second. Stein, I mentioned, hitting third at shortstop. Jake Thole, the first baseman, bats fourth, and Ben Bussey will bat fifth and catch. Hitting sixth, the second baseman, Andy Neffs. Carter Kotzer, the third baseman, bats seventh. So the pitch is high for a ball. Batting eighth, the pitcher, Blake Borgeson. Then Ben Nelson in right field bats ninth. The 1-0 pitch. Maybe up out of the strike zone, foul back to the backstop, and they count 1-1. Hitting 10th, another extra hitter, Riley Peterson. And then Ethan Olson bats 11th and starts in left field. The 1-1 pitch. Another one fouled back, and they count 1-2. 1 out, base is empty. Bottom of the first inning, Minnesota trailing the Gauchos 3-0. And a ground ball over toward third, picked up there and thrown across to first base. And that is in time. A 5-3 ground out retires Christensen. 2 away in the inning. And the batter, Tanner Stein, as we set the Gauchos defensively. It's Ludwig in left, Scouten in center, and Gear in right. The infield, McNeely at third, Gray at short. Marks plays second. Tyler DeJesus at first. Tristan DeJesus behind the plate. And Danny Kamens gets the start in the championship game. He's retired the first 2 hitters and now goes after Tanner Stein, who takes low and in for ball 1. 2 outs, base is empty. Home half of the first inning. Minnesota trailing the Gauchos 3-0. And the next one low, 2-0. And that's in on the hands. That sounded like there might have been some contact with the catcher's glove. Throw on to first base, and that is in time. And it's a 3-up, 3-down inning. Ball bobbled a little bit out there by Marks, but stays with it. And again, a 3-up, 3-down inning for Minnesota. After 1, SWAT trail the Gauchos 3-0. Bottom third of the order for the Gauchos in the top of the second inning. Jeff Gear leads off. First pitch went to the backstop. And the pitch over the outside corner, a strike. And the 1-1. And a swing and a miss, and it's a ball and 2 strikes. Gear, Kamens, and Marks for the Gauchos in the second. Borgeson gets the sign he wants and throws a breaking ball, swing and a miss, strike 3, and there's the first out of the inning, first strikeout for Blake Borgeson, and the batter will be Danny Kamens. 3 runs and 3 hits in the first inning for the Gauchos. A 1-4-3 double play prevented any further damage. First one to Kamen's a ball, next one is low, and they count 2-0. And The next one misses low, 3-0. Yeah, getting an early start here in this championship game. A lot of times it's a little later in the afternoons on Sundays by the time we get to the finals, as that ball is fouled into, well, down the first baseline. I thought another one might get out of play. That one twists a bit, and Thole not able to pick that one up. Interesting then that Cayman's hitting in the number 8 spot in the order, swinging away on 3-0. And I suppose things are a little bit different in the club ball, travel ball situation, especially during kind of the baseball off season. Although there isn't really such a thing in Arizona anymore, as that pitch is high. But maybe a little different philosophy early in the ball game, and this time of the year, a little different 3-0 count than you might see during a school season or even during the heat of the summer season in league play and things like that. So still turns into a walk for Caymans, and now a lead over at first base with Borgeson ready to face Noah Marks. And a step and a throw that way to first, and the runner back.
All right, Blake, get ahead right away.
And that pitch to Marks misses for ball one. So a strikeout and a walk here in the second inning for the Gauchos. They lead 3-0 in the Underclass Division Championship game of the Veterans Day Classic. Try over to first base again. This throw a little bit low, but picked out. Borgeson ready again. Pitch over the outside corner, a strike, and it's 1-1. Runner takes off on a ball in the dirt, throw down to second base, not in time. So that's Marks maybe helping out the base runner a little bit there by swinging through that ball in the dirt. But by swinging through it there, slows the catcher, Ben Bussey, down a little bit, at least having to wait to receive the ball before he can get the throw off to second. Pitch off the plate, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Runner at second base and 1 out in the second for the Gauchos. And that pitch over for a called third strike. Marks knew that one. I think had a second look back there, and he returns to the dugout. Strike 3 in the second strikeout of the inning and the game for Borgeson. And now we'll go after the Gaucho leadoff hitter Tristan DeJesus, who singled and scored back in the first. Pitch over for a strike. And runner takes off, and the ball knocked out of play on the first base side. Check back to second in the pitch. Missed it high and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Ferguson goes inside and did not go around. 2-2 the count. Try to drop that breaking ball in under the hands. Got to Jesus to start the swing, but was able to hold. Big breaking ball came out early there. 3-2 the count. Runner at second and 2 outs. Gauchos hitting in the top of the second inning, leading 3-0. And a 3-2 pitch with a runner going and a ground ball hit over to the right side. Neffs will charge, field, and throw on to first base in time, and that will end the inning. Jesus grounds out, and the side retired. Gauchos turned away in the second. No runs, no hits, a 1-out walk. Runner left at second base after an inning and a half. Gauchos 3, and the SWAT nothing. Four, 5, and 6 in the order for Minnesota SWAT. Jake Thole with a ground ball over to third base. And a throw on to first base, not in time. Thole hustles down the line. And it turns into an infield single. I don't know that there was much that McNelly could do, the third baseman. He got it, and he got rid of it pretty decent time. I don't know that he was overly hurried by any means. And that puts the first runner aboard for the SWAT of the second. Now Ben Bussey, the catcher, takes at the knees for a strike. SWAT trailing 3-0 as they bat at the bottom of the second inning. Here's Kamens now, the right-hander ready, and the pitch is high, and they count 1 ball and 1 strike. Bussey back in and ready. Kamens with the nod. He comes set quickly, and the 1-1 pitch. Spinner is high, and it's 2 balls and a strike. Andy Neffs bats next for the SWAT in the second. Minnesota trailing the Gauchos 3-0 in the Underclass Division Championship game of the Veterans Day Classic. Kamens with a 2-1. And a pop up. That's out of play. Behind the first base dugout. Count goes to 2-2. SWAT went 3 up and 3 down in the bottom of the first inning, so nice for them to get the leadoff hitter aboard in the second. We'll see if they can convert that into a run or more. Turnover and a throw to first and the runner back. And a swing and a miss, and Bussey strikes out. That's the first down of the inning. And the first strikeout for Danny Kamens.
All right, Andy, here we go now. Find a gap, huh, bud?
Andy Neffs in there and ready, and he'll take a strike in the inside corner, and it's 0-1. Kamens jumps ahead. On the handle, popped up first base side in foul territory, and just out of the reach, the first baseman to Jesus. Kamens ahead 0-2. We'll see what he does here with the runner over at first base and 1 away. Runner goes, pitch low and away, throw it down to second base, and the second baseman Marks maybe just a tad late getting over there, although the throw tailed some and not able to apply the tag. So still on base, It's a runner in scoring position for Minnesota. Count 1 and 2 on Neffs with Carter Kutzer next. Ball off the end of the bat, fouled away, and the count remains 1 and 2. Gammons with the nod as he looks back to second base. The 1-2. And a breaking ball stays high. 2 balls and 2 strikes. SWAT trailing 3-0 as the Gauchos scored 3 in the top of the first inning. Now a look back in the 2-2 and a high pop-up third base side in foul territory. McNelly, and he's there for out number 2.
Oh, Carter. Hey, Carter, we need you. Gotta have you now. Switch places. You can do it. Switch places with Jake, huh? Come on, bud. Hey, let's go, Carter. Can't leave him out there, eh? Let's go, bud.
And Carter Kutzer, the third baseman, not wasting any time as he jumps on the first pitch. And that one fouled out of play, actually hit the light stanchion, I believe, and then came back onto the field of play, albeit in foul territory. Runner at second base and 2 outs for Minnesota SWAT in the bottom of the second. And a pitch over the outside corner, a strike, and it's 0-2. And another one fouled back and out of play. I look back in a pitch and a ground ball out to shortstop. Fielded and on to first base. Gray gets rid of it in a hurry. And Kutzer is retired at first base. A 6-3 ground out ends the inning. Minnesota wastes a leadoff single. Runner left at second base after 2. SWAT trailing the Gauchos 3-0. Two, 3, and 4 in the order for the Gauchos in the top of the third. Noah Gray leads it off. First pitch in the dirt for ball 1. And next pitch outside, 2 balls and no strikes. Pitch on the inside corner, and the count 2-1. The 2-1 pitch. Line back up the middle and into center field. And Gray has his second hit after a single and a run scored in the first. Now a leadoff single in the third. And with Gray aboard at first base, the batter Tyler DeJesus. Runner goes, pitch a strike, throw to second, not in time. And Gray with his second stolen base. DeJesus with an RBI ground out his first time up. Pitch off the plate, evens a count at a ball and a strike. And runner takes off, swing and a miss, throw it down to third base, and safe the call at third. Another stolen base for Gray, his third of the ball game. And the 1-2 pitch. And a breaking ball, swing and a miss as Jesus swings over the top. And that's out number one. Third strikeout now for Blake Borgeson. And now we'll face Chase Ludwig. First pitch low, ball one. Ludwig walked and scored back in the first. And that ball hit pretty well out to center field. Runner will tag from third base. Catch made and a throw back into center field, not in time, and so those stolen bases work out for the Gauchos as Ludwig hits a medium fly ball to center field, but it's deep enough to score the speedy Noah Gray from third base. Ludwig gets the RBI as Gray scores run number 4 of the ball game for the Gauchos. Quick question out of the SWAT dugout just to see if that runner from third base left early. Plate umpire says no, and so we'll continue play as Scouten steps in. And he goes after the first pitch and grounds it foul wide of third. Nick Scouten with an RBI single his first time up. And next one high and away. 1 ball and 1 strike. This time on a check swing. Plate umpire says Scouten went around. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And Borgeson with a 1-2. And there's a fly ball into right field. And that sinking fly ball gets down before the right fielder can get in there to make the play. It's Riley Peterson out in right field now, and again, he came in, but that ball just didn't get all the way out to him. He couldn't bring it in, and so Scouten aboard at first, his second hit of the ball game, second hit of the inning for the Gauchos. And now the batter is Zach McNelly, and he takes strike 1. Runner at first base, 2 away in the inning. Another run on the board for the Gauchos. They lead 4-0. McNelly hit into a 1-4-3 double play his first time up. And next pitch inside, 1 ball and 1 strike to count. Borgeson, the next one on the way, and a swing and a miss, a strike, 1-2. Runner goes, and the ball punched out of play on the right side. Check over to first, and a throw that way. Runner took off early. And safe the call. Well, Minnesota trying to execute there on a 1-3-6 pickoff or caught stealing, but called safe at second. So Scouten moves into scoring position. 1-2 the count on McNelly. Pitch just off the plate, 2-2. and got him with a breaking ball. Swing and a miss. Retires McNelly. And that's the final out in the third. Gauchos add another run. They do it on 2 hits and they leave 1 after 2.5. Gauchos 4, Minnesota SWAT nothing. Blake Borgeson, the leadoff hitter for Minnesota in the third. Bottom part of the order here, 8, 9, 10, and 11 coming up. As Ben Nelson will follow, then Riley Peterson. And that pitch over for a called third strike. Second strikeout for Danny Kamens, and now we'll go after Ben Nelson, who swings at the first pitch. Soft pop-up in foul territory. And it's Kamens, the pitcher, coming off the mound to make the play. Jesus also coming in from first base, but Kamens calls him off. Now 2 away in the inning for Riley Peterson. SWAT with just 1 base runner in the first 2 2/3 innings. Ball foul to the backstop for a strike. And the 0-1. It's over for a strike, and it's 0-2. 2 outs, base is empty. Bottom of the third inning. SWAT trailing the Gauchos 4-0. And the 0-2. Just off the plate. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Kamens back to it. The 1-2 pitch. Got it in the hands. And Peterson yanks it foul down the left side. Kamens with a 1-2. High for a ball, 2-2. Ethan Olson next for Minnesota SWAT. And a pop-up on the left side. Just at the back of the outfield, or the infield dirt there, and it's the shortstop, Gray, that makes the catch, and it's a 3-up, 3-down inning for the SWAT in the third. After 3, they trail the Gauchos 4-0. Jeff Gear leads off for the second time in 3 innings for the Gauchos. Took ball 1. Next one, a comebacker back to Borgeson. Stumbled a little bit coming off the mound, but recovers and throws to first base to retire Jeff Gear. Leadoff hitter retired. Plate umpire out just to make sure that Borgeson's okay. He says yep, and now we'll face his pitching counterpart, Danny Kamens, who walked and stole a base back in the second. Gauchos 3 runs in the first and 1 in the third. Meanwhile, Minnesota's had just 1 base runner in 3 innings of work, as Kamens takes strike 1. Swing and a foul, tip into the glove, a strike, and it's 0-2. Ball bounced in, it goes to the backstop. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The Underclass Division Championship game of the Veterans Day Classic. And the 1-2 bounced in. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Again, each team went 3-0 in pool play. For the Gauchos, they shut out two of their three pool opponents. They beat the Ahwatukee Devils 2-0. Beat Desert Mountain Wolves 7-1. And then shut out the Arizona Future Stars Team Royal by a score of 8-0. 3-2 pitch. And a fly ball hit pretty well out to center field. That's going to get over the head of the center fielder and roll all the way just about to the warning track, not quite. And the throw will go to third base, and Kamens is in just ahead of the throw. It's a one-out triple. I see that happen just every once in a while, and I guess all levels, all ages, all divisions. But again, we're kind of in the off season, the winter season, playing with wood bats, not expecting to get beat deep very often, and so outfielders will cheat some, maybe scoot in a bit more than they normally would, and that time Kamens hits it over the head of the SWAT center fielder. Infield in for Minnesota now, down 4-0. There's a pop-up down the third base line. Long run and off the glove of the left fielder. So Neff's now in left field, not able to bring in that ball. Had a bit of a run, but got to it and just couldn't haul it in. Runner at third base with one out. The number 9 hitter at the plate, Noah Marks. So a good percentage play to bring the infield in here as the pitch misses inside, and they count 2-1. Top of the fourth inning, Gauchos leading 4-0, and a couple of chances here to add run number 5. Ball bounced in there, and Pussy stops that one and prevents that runner from scoring. Pitch off the plate, ball 4 to Marks. Third walk given up by Blake Borgeson to go along with 4 strikeouts. And the Gauchos turn the order over for Tristan DeJesus. First pitch inside and off the glove, ball 1. Yeah, that pitch over for a strike, and they count 1-1. First and third with one out for the Gauchos. Yeah, that just about hit him, but it's inside, 2-1. Runner from first base takes off, and the pitch low, 3-1. So Marks to second base. And the pitch a strike, and it's 3-2. Ferguson with a 3-2. That's in the dirt. That'll go to the backstop, and that'll bring in a run. So low and in is ball 4 to DeJesus. But again, the ball goes to the backstop, so Kamen scores on a wild pitch. Marks goes to third base, so another run in to make it 5-0, and we get a timeout and a pitching change coming up for Minnesota. Playing in the top of the fourth, Gauchos lead Minnesota SWAT by a score of 5-0. Noah Christensen on for the SWAT. Runner from first base takes off, and the throw to second base is in time. He throws out the runner, and I don't know if that was a little bit of a let up there. It didn't look like it. Thought it was a pretty good jump, but Bussey gets it down there in a hurry. Pitch over for a strike. Breaking ball is high. And, trailing runner erased. A runner at third and 2 outs in the inning. That pitch high. And a pitch a little bit low. 3-2 on Noah Gray. And that's low, ball 4. Third walk of the inning. And the 5th of the ball game for Minnesota pitchers. And the batter is Tyler DeJesus. And a swing and a miss. Strike 1. It's a healthy lead over there at first base for Gray. And runner takes off, swing and a miss, and no throw to second base. So that'll put another runner in scoring position, but now DeJesus will have to try to get it done with 2 strikes. Ball bounced in there by Christensen. Gauchos have added a run here with the 4th. They lead 5-0. And there's a swing and a miss, and the tag applied as the ball was in the dirt, but Christensen gets a strikeout. Yeah, the Gauchos not able to add another. As it is, though, they get a run on 1 hit, 3 walks in the inning, and a couple of runners left on base after 3.5. Gauchos 5, Minnesota SWAT 0. Ethan Olson leads off in the bottom of the 4th inning and takes strike 1 from Danny Kamens. And next one low and away, 1 ball and 1 strike. Danny Kamens has retired 9 of 10 hitters. Next pitch high, 2-1. And there's a 1-hopper snared at third, a 360 spin, and a throw on to first base is in time, a 5-3 ground out. retires the leadoff hitter. McNally made a nice play over there to snare that one hopper, and then a 360 spin and a true throw to first. And a ground ball over to the right side. Picked up there. And Marks on to first base in time. 2 down. And that brings up Noah Christensen. First pitch high, ball 1. And a fly ball out to center field. And that's put away in center, and that ends the inning. Another 3 up, 3 down inning. That's 12 out of 13 retired for Danny Kamens. After 4, Minnesota still trails the Gauchos 5-0. 4, 5, and 6 in the order for the Gauchos. Ludwig takes a strike and then laces a shot into right center field, but they had him shaded that way, and it is put away in right field. So a loud out gets things started in the 5th, and now the batter is Nick Scouton. Takes inside for ball 1. Line for the SWAT starter, Blake Borgeson. Unofficial, of course, 3 1/3 innings pitched. He allowed 6 hits, 5 runs all earned. He walked 4 and struck out 4. And there's a ball fouled off at the plate. And a breaking ball misses. And that pitch high for ball 4.
Let's go, 3-2.
6th walk given up by SWAT pitchers, and the batter Zach McNally. Runner goes, pitch outside, throw to second. Gets past the second baseman. And I don't know if it would have been in time anyway. Scouton got a pretty good jump. Gauchos continue to run and work on putting pressure on. Ball fouled back out of play. It's the 8th stolen base of the day for the Gauchos. And there's a swing. And on the backswing, McNally came around and got the catcher Bussey. The ball went to the backstop. Plate umpire over explaining what his call was. I don't know. I mean, it wasn't a foul ball, so it shouldn't be a dead ball. But they send the runner back to second. So a ball and 2 strikes to count on McNally. Zach 0 for 2 today. Pitch high, 2 balls and 2 strikes. 1 on, 1 out, top of the 5th inning. Gauchos leading 5-0 in the Veterans Day Classic Underclass Division Championship game. And a line shot into center field. That drops for a base hit. Runner will stay or a hold anyway, at third base. So McNelly with his first base hit, scouting to third, and the batter is Jeff Gear. And the ball pulled over to the right side and into right field, a base hit. So Gear jumps on the first pitch and delivers an RBI single to right field to score Scouton and make it 6-0. First and second with one out and a run in for the Gauchos, the batter Danny Kamens. And the first pitch over the outer half of the plate for a strike. Kamens with a walk in the second, a triple and a run scored in the fourth. And a breaking ball from Christensen is high, 1-1. Christensen with a look back to second base, the 1-1 pitch. And a healthy cut there, but Kamens not able to connect, and the count 1-2. Look back, and the 1-2 pitch, and a swing and a miss. Pitch up out of the strike zone, and first strikeout, make it the second strikeout for Noah Christensen, second out of the inning. And the batter is Noah Marks. And the first pitch over for a strike. Two aboard with two outs and a tapper back. Christensen has it, and he'll toss it onto first base, and that will end the inning. Gauchos add another run in the top of the fifth, and they now lead 6-0. Heart of the order for Minnesota in the fifth. Tanner Stein takes low for a ball. 3, 4, and 5 in the order. Stein, Thole, and Bussey. Pitch over for a strike, and the count 1-1. Danny Kamens allowed a leadoff infield single in the second, and that's been it through 4 innings. And there's a ground ball over to short. Grab there and on to first base in time. Now one away for Jake Thole. He's the player that has the one base hit.
Good eye, Jake.
And there's another one. There's a solid shot into left field. Ben Bussey, the catcher, who struck out his first time up, batting with 1 on and 1 out. And that got him. Came inside and got just a piece of him, trying to jump back out of the way, but Bussey hit by the pitch. Thole to second base, and the batter will be Andy Neffs. Tanner Stein back on. He'll run for the catcher Bussey at first base. So a scoring chance here for the SWAT at the bottom of the fifth, trailing 6-0.
Make him pay. Let's go. Go, Andy. Be aggressive.
Neffs fouled out his first time up and takes strike one. Next pitch high, 1 ball and 1 strike. And Minnesota 3-0 through pool play. They beat Southwest Select 12-0. They beat Phenom Elite 3-1, and they beat the DR Cardinal squad 8-2. Popped up over on the first base side. That's going to be picked up and safe at first base. DeJesus went over, couldn't get to it. It was Marks that fielded, and Kamens over to cover at first base, and he wasn't able to make the catch clean with the footwork over at first. So everybody's safe, and the bases are full for Minnesota in the bottom of the 5th inning with Carter Kotzer coming to the plate. Corners come up for the Gauchos. McNelly at third, DeJesus at first. Middle infielders will play back. They'll try to turn a double play to get out of the inning. And the ball lifted into shallow right. Going to be a tough play. Running, and the ball drops in fair territory. And a run is in. Minnesota on the board. Gosser didn't get much of it, but it was enough to get over the head of the first baseman, DeJesus, and fall in front of the right fielder, Gear, who made a diving attempt at it. So run in, and now the base is still loaded with 1 out for Blake Borgeson. Minnesota trying to climb back into this one here, down 6-1. Kamen's ready in his first pitch. A strike, throw it down to first base, and the runner able to get back. Borgeson called that on strikes his first time up. And a swing and a miss, and it's 0-2. Stein running for Bussey at third, Neffs at second, Kotzer at first. A check back to second in the 0-2, and a swing on a pitch up out of the strike zone. And Borgeson just trying to do a little too much there. Strikes out 2 away in the inning, and the batter is Ben Nelson. And first one bounced in and blocked by Tristan DeJesus. Nelson fouled out to the pitcher his first time up. Pitch up and in, and it's 2-0. Bases loaded, 2 outs, a run in for Minnesota in the 5th, trailing the Gauchos 6-1 in this Underclass Division Championship game, 2016 Veterans Day Classic. Check of the runners, the 2-0. And a ground ball out to short. One pump there, and a throw on to first base is in time. And it ends the inning. Minnesota on the board, though, as they get a run in the bottom of the 5th inning. After 5, they trail the Gauchos 6-1.
All day long right there, Noah.
Top of the order for the Gauchos. First pitch, ball 1. And the next one over for a strike, 1-1. Now 2 balls and a strike. And a 2-1. Fastball high, 3-1. Tristan DeJesus leading off, 1 for 2 plus a walk in this championship game. And he's got another walk. A leadoff walk in the 6th. Brings up Noah Gray. And the ground ball hit to short, out at second base, and safe at first. Gray hustling down the line, but they do get the force play, 6-4. The force at second. Gray on the fielder's choice reaches safely at first, and the batter is Tyler DeJesus. Had the runner leaning over at first base, with a throw wide of the bag, and Gray gets back. Noah Gray, by the way, prior to the fielder's choice, well, now with it, I guess, 2 for 3 plus a walk and 4 stolen bases. Swing and a miss for a strike. He's got half of the 8 Gaucho stolen bases on the day. Throw over to first and the runner back. Gray with a steal, a second in the first. He stole second and third in the third inning, and then stole second base in the fourth. Minnesota trying to keep him close. And a ball popped up behind the mound. They throw over to first and off the glove of the first baseman, and Gray will advance to third. That ball came off the bat. Could tell it was going to be some trouble. Kotzer is now in as the second baseman, was able to field it after the ball bounced behind the pitcher's mound. A throw over to first and not able to hang on at first base. And so the Gauchos put runners at the corners for Jace Ludwig. First one to Ludwig over for a strike. And next pitch high, and it's 1-1. Christensen ready, the 1-1 pitch. Foul back, and they count 1-2. Ludwig go 0 for 1, a walk and a run in the first, a sacrifice fly and an RBI in the third, and then a line out to the right fielder in the fifth. Pitch high, 2-2. Runners at first and third with one out in the top of the sixth inning. Christensen looking in to get a sign from Bussey, and now the 2-2 pitch. And a grounder foul outside of first base. And a swing and a miss. And Ludwig strikes down 2 away in the inning. And next Scouten 2 for 2 plus a walk in 3 trips today. Pitch high, ball 1. Gauchos 3 runs in the first, 1 in the third, 1 in the fourth, 1 in the fifth. Minnesota SWAT with their lone run in the bottom of the fifth. And the next pitch high, 2-0. Runner takes off, pitches a ball, throw to second. Now they got the runner hung up, back to third base, and save the call. going on in that play as De Jesus ends up with a steal of second, so now he's in scoring position. And that pitch high for ball 4. So in amongst all of that, a 4-pitch walk sends Scouton to first base, and so that loads him up for the Gauchos. And the batter is Zach McNally.
Take a step back, boys.
And a healthy cut there for McNally for strike 1. McNally with a base hit his last time up, 1 for 3. Bases loaded, 2 outs, top of the 6th. Gauchos up 6-1. And a nice breaking ball over for a strike, and it's 0-2.
Nothing too good here.
Christian shakes off a couple of signs in the 0-2, misses high and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Jeff Gear next for the Gauchos. And Christensen into the line of the 1-2, and that's fouled off. McNally just able to get the hands going on a breaking ball to foul it away.
Let's go, guys, on your toes.
And the 1-2. And a high fly ball into right field. And that's put away. And the Gauchos are turned away in the top of the 6th inning. No runs, no hits, an error. Couple of walks in the inning. 3 are left on. That's 9 runners left on for the Gauchos now through their 6 innings of work. And after 5.5, they still maintain a 6-1 lead. And we start at the bottom of the 6th inning. Riley Peterson, the leadoff hitter, facing a new pitcher as Jace Ludwig is on to pitch the 6th. First one is strike. Second one a shot laced into left field. And a base hit starts the Minnesota 6th. And Ethan Olson, who grounded out on a hard hit ball his first time up. And he takes strike 1 from Ludwig. Danny Kamens, the starter for the Gauchos, unofficially 5 innings, 3 hits, 1 run earned, 3 strikeouts, and a hit batter. And a big breaking ball fouled off, and it's 0-2. SWAT trailing 6-1. Batting in the bottom of the 6th. And the 0-2. Off the plate. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Getting close here.
Ludwig with a check over to first base. And the 1-2. And that's fouled off. Gauchos with a 3-run top of the 1st inning. They've led the whole way. That pitch is inside and gets a piece of Olson. SWAT will take base runners however they can get them. So Olson to first, Peterson pushed to second. Now Mitch Meyer. Shells bunt takes a strike on the outside corner. Meyer over 2, a fly out and a ground out in 2 at-bats. The 0-1. Takes high, 1 ball and 1 strike. It's the Underclass Division Championship game of the 2016 Veterans Day Classic here at Red Mountain Baseball Park in Mesa, Arizona. And a ground ball. Get the throw to second, out there, back to first base. Is not in time, but they're going to call the runner out at second base for a runner interference, and that will be a double play. So a 3-6 force gets Olson, and then Meyer out on a runner interference. And I think Minnesota's third base coach was ejected as well. And now the plate umpire is going to turn and look at the Minnesota crowd to hopefully have them settle down.
So let's be quiet, let's play. Play fair then. Time. I'm going to get a drink of water. I advise you to do the same.
Time called. So we get back to play with Noah Christensen at the plate. A runner at third and 2 away, and a pop-up could end the inning. It's the first baseman, DeJesus, back on the back part of the infield dirt, and he is there to make the play, and that will end the inning. So a promising start for the SWAT in the bottom of the 6th inning, but double play and a runner interference shortens the inning and slows down the threat, and they do not score. After 6, SWAT trail the Gauchos 6-1. And we get underway in the top of the 7th inning. Jeff Gear takes a strike. Gear, Kamens, and Marks for the Gauchos. Now a check swing and a tapper that goes down the third base line, picked up there, and a throw to first. Not going to be in time, so just a tapper down the line. Christensen, the pitcher, off the mound. Got off the mound in a pretty good hurry there and got rid of it, but just not in time. So it'll go as an infield single for Gear, and he's aboard at first base for the Gauchos in the 7th, and the batter is Danny Kamens. And Kamens going after the first one, pops it up, and we're going to lose sight here behind the plate, but the catch made. Bussey with a nice play. Again, we get screened out because of the fencing back here behind the plate, and Kamens fouls out for the first down. It'll bring up Noah Marks. And the first one of Marks over for a strike. 1 on, 1 out, top of the 7th inning. Gauchos up 6-1. Ball down the first base line and foul. And Christensen jumps ahead of Marks, 0-2. Lead stretched out another half step over at first, and the pitch outside with a fastball 1-2. Christensen shakes his head, checks over to first, and the pitch. And that's punched out of play on the first base side. Still a ball and 2 strikes. Gear aboard at first with 1 away in the top of the 7th. Gauchos got 3 in the top of the first inning, have not looked back. They added single runs in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th to go up 6-0. SWAT got a run back in the bottom of the 5th rather, to make it 6-1. And there's a swing and a miss, and Marks strikes out, 2 away in the inning. back to the top of the order for Tristan DeJesus. We'll look ahead to the Minnesota bottom of the 7th inning. They'll send up 3, 4, and 5 in the order. Stein, Thull, and Bussey for the SWAT in the 7th. And now time called at the plate. Yeah, ready to get back to it here. And a line shot, and that's caught over at third base. The line drive put away, and that will end the inning. Gauchos with a leadoff base hit, and the runner left at first base. We head to the bottom of the 7th, still 6-1 Gauchos. Tanner Stein leads it off for the SWAT in the 7th, and a swing and a miss for a strike. Stein, Thull, and Bussey for Minnesota, down 6-1. Next pitch low for a ball from Jace Ludwig, and they count 1-1. And a comebacker picked up by Ludwig. Throw on to first base in time. And the leadoff hitter retired in the Minnesota 7th inning. Batter is Jake Thull.
Stay hot. Hit another one out there, huh, buddy?
And Ludwig into the one. His first pitch. And it looked pretty good. Called a ball. Thull with an infield single in the 2nd, a single and a run scored in the 5th, and a ground ball down the third base line, but foul. And they count 1-1. Yeah, waiting to retrieve the baseball that was hit foul a moment ago. They got it back in. And the 1-1 pitch. Off the plate, 2 balls and a strike.
Drive one here.
Yeah, swing and a miss, and it's 2-2. Danny Kamen's a starter for the Gauchos. Cruised through the first 4 innings, allowed just 1 infield single, and retired 12 out of the first 13. And in fact, 13 out of 14 as he got the leadoff hitter in the 5th. There's a high throw, and that one gets away. The ball was in the dirt on a strike 3. So it'll go as a strikeout and a wild pitch. And Thull is aboard at first for Ben Bussey, the catcher. Kamens ran into a little bit of trouble in the 5th after getting the leadoff hitter. A single, a hit batter, an error, and a base hit brought in a run, but then a strikeout and a groundout got him out of any extra trouble. As that pitch to Bussey is over for a strike. After the 5th inning, Kamens gave way to Jace Ludwig, who ran into a little bit of trouble in the 6th. A single and a hit batter put the first 2 aboard. Get a swing and a miss there, and it's 0-2. But then a controversial play on a ground ball to the first baseman, DeJesus. He went to second base with the shortstop covering to get the runner there. Out was recorded, but base umpire also said that that runner was out for runner interference, which turned it into a double play. So curveball misses inside, and it's 1-2. So that left a runner at third base with 2 outs, and then a pop out into the inning, and the Minnesota threat in the 6th. Now in the 7th, that ball is fouled out of play. Ground ball back to the pitcher starts the inning. Now a strikeout and a wild pitch puts a runner aboard. So 1 on and 1 out in the bottom of the 7th. Minnesota trailing the Gauchos 6-1. Bussey at the plate, a strikeout and a hit by pitch. And now fouls one back. Andy Neff's next for Minnesota in the 7th. It's the Underclass Division Championship game of the 2016 Veterans Day Classic. And a pop-up near the bag at second. And the shortstop there to make the play for out number 2. So Gray with a second out. And the batter is Andy Neffs. First pitch to Neffs over for a strike. Got to play behind the runner at first and concede the base there as that ball is fouled off, and the count is 0-2. So SWAT down to their final strike here in the 7th inning, trailing 6-1. And that ball fouled off. So Neff stays alive and extends the at-bat of the ball game. And a slow tapper over to the left side, scooped up there, another 360 spin, and a throw on to first base is in time. Another nice play over there by McNelly as he makes that play and throws out Neffs, and that will end it as Minnesota cannot score in the 7th inning. They leave one runner aboard, and we go final as the Gauchos beat Minnesota SWAT by a final score of 6-1. Totals on the ball game for the Gauchos: 6 runs, 9 hits, 1 error, and 10 runners left. John, for Minnesota SWAT, 1 run on 4 hits. They commit 1 error, and they leave 6 runners on base. So the Gauchos get the win, and they are the Underclass Division champions of the 2016 Veterans Day Classic. And that will do it. Again, our final score, it's the Gauchos 6, Minnesota SWAT 1. From Red Mountain Baseball Complex in Mesa, Arizona, Todd Garbison for Southwest Sports Network saying so long. And we hope to talk to you again soon.